Morning everyone, Andy here, Poverty Prospecting. Smudge and I are making our way up the creek again, going back to that corner with all the bedrock where hopefully there might still be a bit of water, and we're going to have a bit of a look. So as you can see, we haven't had any rain, so all the normal pockets are still as dry as none's proverbial. So we'll do our best today so we can see if we can find a nice little nook, nice little juicy crevice somewhere, and do our best to suck it out and see if we can get a bit of AU for today. We've only got about 5 hours. It's about 9 o'clock at the moment, so got to be home by 2. But anyway, we'll keep going, we'll keep trying. Good morning from me, good morning from Smudge, and we'll pause this here and keep going. Cheers. Okay guys, we're back up to our spot. Again, it's rapidly drying. That's that crack I had a good go at the other week, and as you can see, that's the high tide mark there. That's all evaporated. I think that's the only pool I'm going to be panning in today, is where I scratched out that other part of that crevice. That's where I was panning. There's definitely no water left. It's virtually all gone, so might be a bit of a lean one today. We'll see what we can do. There's the high tide mark, as you can see around there. That's how full it was, and that's exactly where I was panning. So it looks like it's going to be slim pickings today with a bit of water. But we're up here, we're going to have a go. I don't know where I'm going to go today. I might have to have a go in here and see what I can find. Get down into that little pocket right there, remove some of the overburden, see if we can get to the bottom, maybe try and roll some of these big boulders out of the way and get into that bit. But yes, 1 week later, and the water that was nearly, I don't know, 6-8 inches deep is virtually gone. So anyway, got all our gear laid out, and yes, I do have a new can of Aerogard. Keep the bloody March flies off when they start getting up. I think they're a bit late this morning, but we're going to bust out our tools and have some fun, aren't we, Smudgy? Hey? He loves coming out just as much as I do. As soon as he sees this bag and the pan and everything getting prepared, he's so excited he doesn't even want to eat his breakfast. So there you go. Anyway, we'll start it, we'll hook into it. Cheers. Okay, already done one pan, but I did it out of here. That little sort of nook just there, that little crevice, absolutely nothing. And yeah, the March flies are out already, so Smudge is going to have to get a dose. Lucky that this is not smell-o-vision, I'm telling you, because I'm just starting to dig into that little hole down there, in amongst all these big boulders. And I'll tell you what, it is not pleasant. It's pretty rank. So anyway, we're going to keep going. Going to give Smudge a bit of a spray over with some bug off, and hopefully he won't get eaten and chased. But anyway, we'll keep going and let you know if we come up with something. Cheers. Okay, we've done about 4 pans. Did one from over there. I've done 2 out of there. I've done 1 from over there where the trowel is. I cracked a big piece of bedrock out, and as you can see, it's starting to go down into a little pocket, but there's no water, so you can't really use the yabby pump. Again, this is where your diversity of tools come in. So we have the second piece of the day. The first piece, well, it wasn't even worth really showing you because it was only a micro, but it's a tiny little piece down there. Put it in perspective, there's my finger. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So, but again, we're not at the bottom. Now, these are some of the tools that I like to use when I'm getting into dry crevices. Big modified spoon, paintbrush, really good one, chisel, it's an old shock absorber bloody spanner, but in there, little stiff brush, and this tiny little brush to get down into the real tiny little nooks. This brush I made up, it's just glued in there with some silicone that's off a old stiff broom, but that gets a lot of the shit out, especially when it's dry. You got to be able to scrape it, scratch it all out, and hopefully catch some in your trowel. Try and scoop it up with that little spoon or the bigger spoon or whatever and get it back into that pan. And if you're lucky, the water hole over there is getting a bit dirty, but we're only 4 pans in. We've sort of found the first half decent speck. And yep, the March flies are driving Smudge crazy. He has had a spray, but there's one of the suckers down there right there. Little bastards. They bite hard too, so they do draw blood, and they're not real fun to have around. But anyway, we're going to go over there. We're going to try and set the camera up on the tripod and see if we can do a bit of scratching and a bit of cracking some rock away and see if we can get down to that little pocket down there. I'm hoping that since we got one bit out of there, we might find some more. Okay. It does look like a nice little pocket in here. There's quite a bit of fractured bedrock, so we'll try and remove some of the bigger bits out, get down to where we can get as much material out of the bottom as we can. Never know, might have some luck today, who knows. There's not a lot of water, so let's hope we find some nice chunky bits down the bottom. But like I say, this is what you're looking for, those little nooks, those little crannies in this bloody system, because it's a good one, this one, to get into the little corners, see what you can scratch out from the bottom. We're not going to have much luck with using the Abbey pump. We might be able to use a little tiny little one. I might be able to bring a bucket of water up here, but what you can scratch out with these things, all the better. If you can get down there, you never know what hides under these things. You can have a good spot, or you can have a bad spot. So it's a funny thing, dog. Where you think you're going to get it, you don't. And where you think you're not going to get it, sometimes you'll find it. So don't forget, these rocks have been laying here for a bloody long time, so hopefully under all this shit we might find some nice juicy material that's been there for a fair while. Looks like this rock here is going to come out as well. Yeah, you can see she's loose, So we might roll this big bugger out of the way. See if we can get down into there. Get outside. Thank you. Always handy to have a crowbar, I'll tell you, because you can pry them and you can move them. You never know what you'll find underneath. So this is going to be a good one. They all weigh a bit round here. They're not bloody light. Come on. Up you go. That's it. Okay, we moved a couple of big ones, but crowbar's always handy. If you can jiggle them, you can get them out. So, I don't know if you can see, but this lays down here, another big pocket in there, pocket down there, but that all slopes over this way. This one big piece of bedrock, so that's probably going to go down about 2 foot into that corner. So, we'll try to get down there, see what we can get in this pan, and hopefully we can get down to where the bottom is, because you've got to find the bottom. As you know, gold's heavy, always sinks to the deepest point, so it's well worth trying to move what you can. Oh yeah, fucker, come on. Got a bit of burden over it, so let's see. Maybe a few of these ones at the back, maybe. Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, we will try and pan most of this material, see what we can find. Who knows, there's sometimes stuff gets stuck down the bottom, and you never know what you can find. So little nooks, little crannies, that's what we're looking for, those spots. Come on, edge come. That looks deeper than what I thought, so that's a good thing. Who knows? We might be in a good hole. We may not. Who knows? Come on, you big bugger. But there's lots of nice heavy rocks in there, so we'll just do a sort of test pan down here. Feeling heavy, so it might have a fair bit of black sand in it, which is always a good sign. But most of the rocks up here are pretty bloody heavy. They're all black, heavy sands. Tell you what, stinky down there too. Ooh. And I can feel a hole. So there's another, right here there's a big crack, and just down here I can feel another crack going in. Hopefully if that one's holding water, at least we might be able to get our sucker tool down there and give it a bit of a suck out. Try and keep pushing the water back down there because we need it. So yeah, no, there's a deep hole there. I can feel it. The actual shovel goes down in it, and it's nowhere near at the bottom. So I'll try and take some of this overburden off it and pan it out and see what we can find. Yes, it's very pongy. Smells like dead tadpoles and rotten gum leaves, so not real nice. But you never know. I mean, if you were a piece of gold, you'd want to hide in the stinkiest hole, wouldn't you? So no one would find you. Right. As you can see what I mean. Big crack down there. Right, huge crack. And down there, there's another crack. I can feel it. I snapped that bit of bedrock off. That's a piece of it there. That's the other half of it there. So if you can move it, you'll get down there. That's the material. Looking pretty yucky, but I'm thinking we might find something in there. I'm kind of hoping we do. So anyway, we'll set you up over here and go from there. Like I said before, it's no point looking in that because there's nothing big up here. It's all tiny shit. So. This classifier I've got here, it's a 6mm classifier, mainly used for gem sieving, but it sort of eliminates the amount of panning you've got to do to try and remove any of the rocks that's bigger than 6mm. And as I say, we don't get a lot of big stuff up here, so it's definitely not something that I find up here. Big pieces. Jesus is heavy. So, let's hope it's got a bit of gold in it. Stratify, stratify, stratify. Out of the way, smudge. Oh, move. The water's so dirty you can't really see what you're doing here, but go by feel. I like to stratify and do about 3 or 4 washbacks and re-stratify, because a lot of the stuff up here is very heavy sands, a lot of black stuff, a lot of blonde sands, but it's heavy, so you don't get the gold sitting on top and washing away, hopefully. So if you stratify, or you usually try and stratify between 6 and 8 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then do the next part of the washback, 3 or 4, and another March fly trying to bloody eat them. I have sprayed myself, so they're staying off at this point, but when your hands constantly get wet, you wash it off and then the buggers come down and start feeding off your hands. So you've got to keep reapplying this Aerogard or bug off or whatever you got, Bushman's, and try and get that blood suckers to leave you alone. I'm getting down to the business end. Go away. Haven't seen any buckshot yet. Don't get a lot. Mind you, they do a fair bit of deer hunting up here. We've got a lot of deer up here. I see their paw prints sometimes in the actual creek. There's hooves. Right, let's have a look. I hope we're going to get something out of this. Mind you, we're not at the bottom. This is mainly overburden. Yep, nothing in that. That one's just going. But again, we're not at the bottom. There we go. Try and set you up over here. I'm going to try. There we go. I hope you can see that. I'm going to try and use my little nugget trap. Oop, there we go. I'm going to try and use my nugget trap. This little one with the pipe that extends right up to get down in here, and I'll splash a bit of water up there first and see if we can get it in there, because I can't get much further down with this bloody tool. I've been down there scratching and scratching and scratching, so tried to loosen it up. Looks like it could be a good little spot for it, but who knows. Okay. If there is anything heavy in here, usually it gets stuck in the little nugget trap, so when you're watching me blow the water out, don't worry, it's not getting blown out too bad. So I'll have a look, see how much material's in this. I'll try and give it another decent scratch. Well, that's about half full. It's up to there. If you can see in there. But we've moved a fair bit of overburden from here. And hopefully we'll get down into this corner and see what we can get out of it. But down there is pretty deep. Like where are we? That one there. Right, you can see that's going virtually all the way down there, and I can't get my little nugget trap up that far. So I can scratch as much as I can, push it up into this corner where it's a little bit bigger, and then if I'm lucky I can scoop it out, but it's pretty tight in that little hole, so hopefully we'll get something out of it. Never know. As you guys know, there's never a sign saying dig here, so it's all a bit of a guessing game, but a calculated guess at best. But I can't seem to get in there any further, so I think we're done in that little hole. Yeah. It looks like I'm going to have to make another nugget trap, but with a deeper extension on it to get down into some of these spots, because you can't have a shitload, and I left me flexible one at home, so I didn't think I'd be chasing so deep. But you never know. I should have brought it, but I didn't, so I'll do the best I can with what I've got. So we're going to start using this super sucker. Now this thing here, again, as I say, lots of pressure. It also acts like a bit of a classifier. It stops the big rocks getting in it. Alright, I think we've got enough material there to do one pan, and we'll have a look. Who knows? Okay, Indian Smudge here. Smudge is enjoying the shade over there. Still penning in that mud hole. Moved a lot of overburden here. I got down there, I wasn't even getting micros. So I was hitting a real thick, black, compacted sand, which I found from experience up here, once you start hitting that and it's coming out like a big dog poo out of the yabby pump, you may as well not keep persisting, because there's not much down there. So I decided to come over here and try something. I did manage to move that big bloody rock there, which was a hell of an effort. There's a lot of packed gravels underneath that. I've managed to roll that one over, and I'm down in this little pocket here. And I'm sort of not at the bottom either. I'm going to try and remove some of that gravel and get rid of a bit of the overburden, try to get to the bottom. But down there, I know it's pathetic, but the best pan of the day has just come up, and it's got, get out of the way, Smudge. I don't know if you can see. Smudge, get out of the light. There we go. Smudge, move. Okay. 1, 2, 3 little bits, and 2 micros in there as well. So there's 5 bits in that pan. Now that's pretty sad, right? But that is the best pan of the day, which is shocking. but anyway, you get that. I haven't got much more time up here. It's midday now, and I've got to go to Bendigo this afternoon, go and help out my son. Oi, watch the pan. Got to take some furniture up to him. I'm lucky enough that he lives near the whipsticks, so I'm going to actually take some buckets, and on the way home, fill up some tubs, fill up some buckets out of a creek that I've hit a few times and got a bit of gold out of it. It's not prolific. It's not bloody Slatty Creek or anything like that, but I have got some nice bits out of it. So yeah, we're going to try and do another couple of pans in this hole over here under these rocks and these boulders, and see if we can find some stuff down the bottom. I'm kind of hoping that there's something down there for me, otherwise today's been not the best of days. So, but you do get them. Alright, cheers. There you go. One thing you don't want to do up here when you're prospecting by yourself is not tell anyone where you're going, and definitely don't get your hand caught under one of these big rocks when it shifts. So I always try and flip them, move them, make them stable, stand on them, rock them, make sure they're not going to fall on you. So anyway, we'll try this, we'll pan this bastard out. It's mainly overburdened, but we'll see what we can find. Yeah, we just dug that out, hoping that there's going to be something in that pan. Nearly at the bottom of this little pocket here, but this big rock here has got to be moved. So we'll see how we go. Okay, out of that we got one little fly speck. So that's not real good, but again, still trying to get to the bottom. Alright. Okay, we got that big bastard out of the way. Hopefully I can get into that little corner, try and get some of that out before I have to pack up and go, because that's the best pan was down there, but we're not at the bottom. So let's hope by the time we get to the bottom that there's still something down there that I can at least see with the naked eye. That'll be good. Alright, I'll just pause it here and we'll keep going. Okay, so looks like it was worth the effort so far. Still not at the bottom. Just to move those two big bloody boulders right there, because that's come up. So we've got 1, 2 little bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 micros. Now feeling around down there with my hands, I can actually feel a gravel packed pocket. So I'm going to scratch all that out, dig out as much as I can, and get my little yabby tool down there, my yabby pump with the super sucker on it, try and suck it out of that crevice, scratch it all up, keep going. Then there's a little fissure in the rock, a little crack down there that you can actually see this water coming out of. So that little pile right there where it's starting to ooze out, that's where this piece of bedrock has big fracture through it. So hopefully I can get into there with the little nugget trap, see what's down there. But about smack in the middle is a bit of a little pocket. It's a shame the water's so dirty, otherwise it'd stick in there and you could have a look. But anyway, we'll pause this and we'll keep going. Okay, well, after getting down there where I felt a pocket, scratching it, getting the bigger rocks out, we just did a bit, and that's got 1, 2, 3, 4 bigger bits, and about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 little micros in it. So that's about the best today. Typical, really close to where I've got to go. I'm going to do one more, try and get my little nugget trap down into that pocket and see what I can pull out of it before I have to call it quits. But it's quite deep. I've been using the main yabby pump to get into it. It's got a big hole about the size of your fist, so we'll use the super sucker. We'll get the bloody yabby pump, super sucker and the nugget trap in it and see what we can pull out of that one little hole. Alright, cheers. Better than nothing. Okay, typical, you start getting down the bottom and it's time to go, isn't it? So anyway, that's probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decent bits and maybe 3 decent bits and a heap of little micros in it. So that's about the best I think today. That's the most in one pan, but that was mainly using the yabby pump with the super sucker and the little crevicing one to get into that tiny little pocket that I was telling you about. Now that pocket is still not finished, so I'm in two minds whether to stay for an extra couple of pans, or because it's getting bloody warm, isn't it so much? He's hiding in the shade, that's usually a good sign. But yeah, it's getting warm. I might suck this up and then get some fresh water and do a snuffer dump for you. Okay, bit of clean water out of the other hole, the one that's still got fish in it. But Here we go. We'll get that over there. Not a real big day today. We have been up here for about, I don't know, 4 hours. I didn't really get up here till about 9 o'clock. Had a bit of shit to do this morning. But, just get all this in one spot. Do a little shaker table. I'll try and get it all cleaned up and moved into one spot. Okay, that's what we got today. So, zoom in for you. No big pickers, no stickers, but little bits. But little bits are better than nothing, I suppose. So we're going to pack up. We'll probably come back here at one stage. That's hopefully if there's any bloody water left, because it's rapidly drying up. So we'll just leave this here. And thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subbing. And it's goodbye from Smudge. Smudge, you gonna say goodbye? Good boy. And it's goodbye from me. So time to pack up, head home, go and do what we've got to do. One hole, not a lot. One scratch, absolutely nothing. And a couple of micros out of that hole, and majority come out of that hole. And yes, those two big rocks though were hard to move, especially by myself. All good. Thank you, Andy. Poverty Prospecting out. And remember, get out there, have a go. Cheers.